Hey y'all, so in this video, I'm going to show you how I'd like to set myself up for an Ernie with a change of direction dink. And this video is of a 4-player dink game where all 4 players start at the kitchen and 1 player feeds and you play out the point. I'm going to show you the video in real time and then I'll go back and break it down in slow motion. So let's break this down in 0.25x speed. So the feed goes middle, and Mikey here on the left near sideline is going to hit a dink back to the middle. And as this dink travels to the middle, I want you to take a close look at Ravi over here in the black and what his movement is as the dink travels to the middle. So you see that Ravi has taken a big step to his right to cover the middle. And this is actually a mistake made by a lot of players because they assume that a dink that goes middle to middle from here to here, the only way they can be hurt is if the opponent speeds up at them down the middle. And the other reason is they don't feel the need to cover their sideline because the angle from the middle to the sideline is not as sharp as an attack from, say, the other sideline cross court to their sideline. And the thing is here is that the dink that Mike hit is very low, and I'm going to have a very hard time speeding it up successfully. So there's no reason to cover middle. And then actually, when the dink goes from middle to middle, I actually have the option to change direction of the ball and attack either sideline. Whereas had the dink come from sideline to middle, I would probably have to just play the ball back to the sideline rather than change the direction because it's difficult to do so when the ball is coming at you from an angle. And while it's true that if I attack a sideline from the middle, the angle won't be as sharp, there is a shorter distance from going from the middle to the sideline than it would be from sideline to sideline. So while the angle is not as sharp, there's less distance for the ball to cover and therefore less time for Ravi to react to a sideline attack. And as I continue the video and hit the sideline attack, I want you to take a close look at myself and my partner Martina over here and our movement. So we both take a big step to the right. Martina shifts right to cover the middle. I shift right to cover the line. And that's because if I do a sideline attack, the only thing that can hurt us is either a down the line or down the middle shot. And it also sets me up for being an Ernie threat. And here you see that because Ravi had to shift back to cover his sideline, he's late to the ball and he's leaning back with paddle outstretched to get to the ball, which means most likely he's actually going to have to pop it up down the line since that's the shortest distance from his paddle to over the net. And I recognize this and I go for the step around Ernie. If you're more athletic than me, of course, you can go for the hop Ernie as well. And of course, we're all friends here. So the most important part is a little bit of trash talk after a successful Ernie.
It always works on that.